24-hour news was something that no one had ever done before.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we're here, we're on, we've got microphones.
A man was shot.
It is informative.
There is an arrest warrant issued for Lacey Peterson's husband.
It keeps people connected.
It can be educational.
Around your lullaby.
They have to keep putting product out there.
Police believe he is in that vehicle.
Get it first as opposed to get it right.
You don't have time to double-check what's being said.
This is not independently confirmed.
It's not the polished news you get every night.
We will have to look through here a little more.
A tarting up, a snoozing up of news.
There was some sort of sexual encounter.
Flipper has learned a new trick.
There's a little showbiz about all these networks.
It's astonishing to finally see Michael Jackson.
Hollywood, Madison Avenue, cable news. It's the same business.
It's much easier to get people's attention if you're negative.
You've got some international nitwits.
Somebody's got to keep his eye on liberals. People have access to free information.
Majority of public opinion, in their view, is against any sort of war.
24 hours, it's just not enough.
War, terrorism, politics, murder, car chases, trials, shark attacks. 24-hour TV news has exploded in our faces, altering how news is gathered and reported, and how world leaders and you receive and use news. Neither journalism nor reality will ever be the same. The story of Feeding the Beast is the story of a pop culture revolution, the ultimate reality show. 24-hour news, the good, the bad, and the inevitable.
I think it's in the best interest of the country that we go ahead and go to war with Iraq to prevent other 9/11 attacks.
Our war with Iraq has really nothing to do with the war on terror. I think it's just really coincidental that they both happened close to the same time and everybody's kind of linking them together.
I feel that there's, in the media, that they're only telling us what we want to hear.
I'm still not sure why now and why so drastic. Why are we going? That's all I want to know.
Every second, somewhere in the world, a person commits a crime. From minor infractions to mass murder, crime tears at the fabric of society. But how should we respond? How can we protect ourselves? Should the worst criminals be executed for their crimes? Can some outlaws be rehabilitated and turned into law-abiding citizens? What should we do about corruption when cops themselves become criminals? And what about the victims? How can we help heal and restore violated individuals and communities? Countries around the world are struggling with these questions, turning to their own culture and history to find answers. Over the next hour, we'll look at 4 possible responses as we explore the geography of crime and punishment.
Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but rich in natural beauty. Millions struggle to find work, but no one begs. The people of Haiti need help desperately, but they want to help themselves. Ron Voss has lived and worked in Haiti for many years.
Everybody's got a job. The unemployment rate in Haiti is 0. I say everybody says it's 85%. No, it's not. It's 0. There's nobody sitting around waiting for somebody to do something for them. Everybody's trying to make it through the day.
If you think a butterfly collection is something pinned to a board in an antique store, you probably haven't met Ron Boonder. Ron collects live butterflies. That's right, live butterflies. And he collects them only in their native habitats. Ecuador, Brazil, Trinidad, Belize, or Costa Rica. Yes, it can get expensive. Ron spends thousands of dollars a month on these excursions. But where there's a rainforest, there's probably an exotic specimen Ron hasn't seen yet.
When you get in the rainforest and you see the diversity of life, when you see the diversity of plants and vines and shrubs and trees and flowers, and you just can't help but get hooked. I mean, it's like getting hooked on snow skiing or diving or something, you know. When I think about coming to Costa Rica to do some work, I mean, my heart starts beating faster, and I can feel the adrenaline pumping on the plane over here.
They can level mountains, carve deep into the earth, and bring a city to new heights.
There's a lot of swaying and motion up here. I'd go home and I felt like a drunk sailor every night because I'd be swaying.
Our landscape is dramatically changing right before our very eyes, and it's because of these massive machines.
We move about 90,000 tons in a 24-hour shift with it.
In this day and age, when high-tech is making most machines smaller, why are these machines getting bigger and bigger?
You actually do get to feel like you are the machine. When you're really in the rhythm and really moving, it feels pretty good.
How big can they get? And are they actually too much of a good thing?
If the airline industry had the same safety record as the crane industry did, there wouldn't be no airplanes flying today.
In September 1996, Lance Armstrong was on top of the bicycling world. A month later, he was flat on his back with a grim diagnosis.
First words out of his mouth was, this looks like cancer.
Lance Armstrong was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
There was a point there where I was like, well, am I going to be going to Lance's funeral?
This was a young man with a sense of purpose, not empty braggadocio, but with a very clear vision.
He had a specific take on hip-hop. It was possibly more urban. It was more black, if you will.
He enjoys partying so much. Like, he could have a party every night.
He could have one leg left, and I could have one arm left, and we'll be on the floor still trying to fight each other. Like, that was the relationship we had.
Puffy had to be in control.
You sit and you look at a man like Sean, and you recognize that if they convict him, for all practical purposes, his life and career is over.
And keep on saying 15 years, keep on saying that.
The scariest time of my life, being handcuffed to a bench.
You could cut the tension with a knife. It's almost unbearable. We're all at the table. I keep in mind there are 3 defendants, and there are 17 verdicts.
All those things are just a part of the ongoing movie of the life of Puff Daddy.